the silver lining, yeah. And when I swing by, I'll fling away your troubles, yeah. When I swing by, you shine. And I know that life can often be a struggle, but you'll soon be feeling fine when I swing by. Wisdom is earned in the dark, I keep believing. A falling guy can be like losing part of you. I try to learn even when I take a beating. Ambition weaves away that failure can't get through. And when the clouds are blotting out the sky, I swing upon the silver lining, yeah. And when I swing by, I fling away your troubles, yeah. When I swing by, you shine. And I know that life can often be a struggle, but you'll soon be feeling fine when I swing by. And I know it's not easy, so much is gone. But keep growing, keep dreaming, and go pass it on. And when I swing by, I'll fling away your troubles, yeah. When I swing by, you shine. And I know that life can often be a struggle, but you soon be feeling fine when I swing by. When I swing by. Oh yeah, here I go. Oh, here I go. I dream of towers in a world consumed, cold hewn into the stone. The architecture of servitude, collapsing upon the thrones. Shock to the framework as the shell ignites, binding the master and the acolytes. Keep running forward at the speed of light, a universe on fire. The calling of age, the stirring of purpose, within the summer over and over we will ascend. The coming of age, disturbing the surface, To see the end, we dream again. We dream again. To see the end, we dream again.
Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Gravity Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Esoteric Literature Club of Whitechapel. I am John, and I am your keeper for this evening. I am joined today by Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Jahan Ramsey, Wiccan psychologist who is already done with this bullshit.
And Craig.
I'm Craig. I'm playing Dr. Harold Costley, pensioner and almost axe murderer.
Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Doris Foster Young, retired cult leader. Slowly going crazy.
Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Jared. I'm 19 years old and I never fucking learned how to read.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I am playing America, Kansas Freedom, professionally a cowboy.
And before we delve into the world of Call of Cthulhu, for all those watching and listening at home, understand that this is a world that thrives on horror, on the unsettling, on making you uncomfortable. So there may be themes and aspects of the story that are particularly unpleasant for some viewers. In those cases, it is a perfectly valid response to stop watching or listening if you feel you cannot. For those who remain, welcome to Call of Cthulhu.
Like spiders!
Yes, like spiders. Fuck spiders.
Don't say that now, he might kill us.
Speaking of killing you, the group of you have reconvened at the home of one John Collins, officer of the law, and also member of the Knights Templar. The three of you that weren't there are walked down a secret passageway in which you find yourselves in an ancient library of some kind, built of brick and built of stone and mortar. That is the kind in which you see the ancient castles and likes of London, as opposed to the more modern structures sitting on top of it.
Oh, hooray, more books.
Inside, there is a vast array of books and other artifacts on display, each of which is more ancient looking than the other. John Collins gathers the group of you around a large table situated in front of an even larger gate with portcullis in front of it, and somebody has something playing noise in the background.
Not me.
See,
Definitely
the person whose thing is lighting up is you to me, so...
No, I'm hearing something that sounds like a mobile game or something on a phone. I don't know.
I heard
Google
it.
News doesn't have sound.
I heard it too, and it wasn't me.
I
Well,
think it was a television in my vicinity. I have addressed it.
Okay, well,
No worries.
It stopped now, so it was just really distracting because I was trying to talk. You've been gathered around an ancient table, an ancient sort of long meeting table. Actually, it's round. An ancient circular table situated in front of a portcullis and large gate, at which John Collins has brought you. Right, so in case any of you are unaware, weird shit happens in London. Several of you have already been experiencing certain levels of weird shit, and since you've been brought to me, it seems that it's fallen into my inclination to at least give you some level of idea or training or preparation for dealing with some of the weird shit that is targeting you specifically. So, about these yellow jackets you're seeing and wearing and whatever, though I note that you've taken it
Please.
off, which is definitely a good thing. There are particular cults situated in the Greater London area, and throughout the UK in general, that worship an entity that is spoken of in The King in Yellow, the play you mentioned earlier,
Right.
and would love nothing more than to bring that entity into their lives, into the world, which would result in lots of bad shit. There are also
So,
people...
like a creepier version of fundamentalist evangelicals?
Yes.
At the risk of asking a question that I'm sure I'm going to regret,
Go ahead.
bring it in from where?
Really good question. Anyways, so in addition to bringing this entity into our world, they also would like to find a particular city that has been lost to time and location and etc., etc., etc. All that Indiana Jones shit.
That never turns out well.
No, called Carcosa.
Right. Yes.
Yes. They want to find that for a variety of reasons, in addition to the idea that it'll help with them bringing this entity into this world. The higher level understanding of all this garbage that I'm spouting at you doesn't really matter. What matters is there's a bunch of people that like to dress in yellow and kill people in ritualistic sacrifices. Understand me so far?
I'm with
Yep.
you. I
Yep.
will admit I'm quite curious about the higher level stuff myself, but
Certainly, and we can get to that after today.
right.
So, not them, but another group of cultists. There's a lot of cultists in this world. You'll find once you start down this particular road of investigation, or at least knowledge seeking, a different set of cultists have brought in something different, and it's currently trapped in the catacombs beneath this place. And you guys are going to help me deal with it, which is why I had you get all them guns. 'Cause, fortunately, most things that are beyond our comprehension are still not beyond the comprehension of a good amount of lead applied to their body. Also, lass, why are you looking at me like that? He says, turning towards Doris. Doris, you've been unable to stop staring at John Collins because since you got back, he's looked like a corpse. And no one else has really commented on it or noticed, but like he looks like there's like a hole in his chest that's been like dripping blood this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem to have noticed either.
What?
And he doesn't seem to have noticed either.
Okay. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
She made an earthquake happen.
I mean, that kind of happens in this game. Right. Well, anyways, grab your guns or whatever you're capable. I would suggest the highest caliber you're comfortable with. And we're gonna go do a little bit of monster hunting, just so you get a feel for how this sort of thing works. So some points of some tidbits of advice. Shoot first, ask questions later when it's something that you're not familiar with, because if you start asking questions first, 9 times out of 10 it'll crawl inside your brain and use you like a little puppet. Don't stay in the same location for very long. Lots of things when you shoot or hit them with an axe or sword or shoot them with a gun, will just get mad until it dies. So you don't want to shoot and stand around. You want to shoot and run and keep running, and then shoot and keep running. Hopefully I'm clear on that. Because if you don't do the running part, you won't get a chance to do the shooting part later.
I'm with you.
Right.
Okay.
Third, Third
Go ahead.
third tip of advice: don't worry about me. I've been doing this game for a long time. Sound good?
Is this one of those old soldiers, bold soldiers thing?
No, this is one of those things where no matter how bad you think it is, trust me, I've been through worse.
Okay. No, I meant in terms of the running and gunning thing, but okay, yeah, that too.
Sure. Right. Any questions before I open this door?
Which
The
door?
player of America would like to let you know that my PDF reader is crashing, so I can't access the rules at the moment.
Ooh.
Sorry. Go ahead.
He points at the big door that has the portcullis behind him.
You mentioned that some of these things are underground. Any of them causing any sort of, I'm not sure what the term would be, seismic activity, that sort of thing?
Some of them could, certainly.
Harold looks over at Doris and Jared.
Well, it wasn't me.
We were out. We stopped by Miss Foster Young's house and out near Sussex, and the old place started to shake. Thought it was going to come down for a moment. That sound like it could be anything to do with your subterranean shenanigans?
Not the one we're going to be hunting today, but certainly there are a wide variety of things that can cause a house to shake.
I do have a minor question.
Certainly.
You're talking about, your guns or what have you. What if your what have you is none of those things because you don't own guns and thus did not bring guns?
I got extras.
Right. And if you're not familiar, Doctor, I've got some old fowling pieces that might be with all respect to America Freedom. I have a feeling that some of the things in your trunk may be a bit more complicated.
He walks over towards Jahan, and again does the thing where he puts a hand on your forehead and pulls your eyelid up.
Right.
Well, if you're comfortable with losing a little bit of your grip on reality, I could provide you with something else.
That's a very peculiar way to make an offer.
Oh, what the hell? Why not?
I mean,
Wouldn't be the worst thing that's happened
Right.
today, even.
I notice young Jared isn't making any insinuating comments about this sort of thing.
He grabs you by the shoulders and just like pushes you down into a chair. Right.
I like how this is starting.
Roll your sleeve up, put it on the table.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, there's no need to make comments. It's pretty fucking obvious.
He reaches under the table and pulls out a box that he puts up on the table and then opens it up. And you see anyone who wants to can make me a what are your options here?
Spot hidden?
No,
Arcana,
it's
something
not
like
a spot
that.
hidden roll. Anyone who wants to can make either a medicine or a medicine, first aid, or a history roll.
I'm gonna make a first aid roll.
I'll try first aid. Why not?
Remember to check off your successful rolls.
Nope.
Hard, because I'm
let's
actually
see.
really, really fucking good at first aid. I may have the highest first aid specifically in the group.
I really hope so. I don't think we can get. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'll do first.
nope.
Ream.
All right. So, Craig, Harold, America, and Jahan recognize what he's pulling out of this box as a this is a fuck. This is a Samoan stick and poke tattoo kit.
Okay.
Okay.
It's basically a series of stick. It's like 3 sticks basically.
Yeah.
Two tied together, one vertical, one horizontal tied together, and then a separate one. And it's designed. You dip the you load the vertical stick with ink, and then you basically tap the ink in, and it's sort of like it's a way of tattooing. It's a very very ancient way of tattooing.
Yep.
Yep.
He pulls these things out, then pulls out several different jars of colored ink, and begins to apply a tattoo.
Oh boy,
to
this is going to
Jahan's
be wonderfully
forearm.
painful.
Give me a Constitution roll, John.
Yep.
All right, I think Constitution is that.
They can
Con roll.
Hey, I actually did well.
So you manage to sort of grit your teeth through it. It doesn't hurt as much as you're expecting it to hurt. It's mostly a series of surprise stabs, and that's the
Right.
most uncomfortable part of it. It doesn't hurt actually as much as getting a modern day tattoo does,
Right.
because it's not as
Which
it's
he's
not as
more
constant.
used to. Yeah.
It's just yeah. But he very quickly and very professionally tattoos a very small rune into your forearm. Then he sort of blows on it, applies a little clear sticker, and then you have a journal or something I can write in.
Yes.
Takes it, flips it to a blank page, scrawls some stuff into it, hands it back to you. You read Latin, right?
I do.
Right. So, if you want to hurt something really bad, read this out, bite your thumb, rub the blood on that tattoo, and point the hand that the tattoo is attached to towards whatever it is.
Right.
And focus really hard.
Right.
Does he have to do all the steps, or could like one of us bite somebody else's thumb, rub that on while he does the talking and the pointing, or
All gotta be him.
okay?
And you now have access to a spell that I will be giving you momentarily.
Is no one going to talk about the fact that there was no antiseptic involved with that? I mean, I did some stuff back in the 70s, but
It'll be fine.
You don't typically get antiseptic with this type of a tattoo.
And you usually don't get STDs from tattoos either.
Not unless I've been sticking my stick and poke into some very interesting places.
I don't know. That's what
We'll
I'm
talk about that
With a
later.
hard success, America will. Well, depends on what STDs you're talking about.
I'm just saying, comparing to what Doris probably did back in the 70s and the possible consequences that might have arisen from that sort of thing, versus. Never mind.
Anyway, America, who's very much armed now, like if there was before some effect of a cowboy in the Wild West, it's now amplified by the several guns, the ammo bandolier, the crossbow. I'm assuming that shooting it with this thing, points to the crossbow, ain't gonna do much good.
Some things respond to a crossbow better than a pistol. But this one in particular, take the pistol.
I don't got a pistol, I got a carbine and a shotgun.
Right.
Anyone good with those and don't have a better weapon? Because mine ain't antiques.
What sort of shotgun is it?
It is specifically a 12 gauge. John told me which ones to get because Aaron doesn't know anything about guns.
Yes.
It's a 12 gauge. It uses the rifle shotgun skill.
Is it automatic?
No. It's a pump action.
Okay.
Yeah. It's,
All right. Then I'll stick with what I have.
There are no automatic weapons in the UK.
well, yeah.
Well, legally.
I mean, yeah, legally.
John, are we going to, I'm assuming subterranean, probably poor lighting most of the time?
That's what you can assume, yeah.
All right. And yeah, Collins, are we going to be going up against? Should I bring any climbing gear, or are we going to be mostly hoofing it?
Mostly hoofing it. We're going into a series of catacombs underneath the city that have been there since the days of King Arthur, technically. Basically, long disused stone passageways, lots of crypts and corpses and things like that.
Okay, I'll bring a shotgun and some rope and shit, but not the full gear then. As Jared whips out a pair of night vision goggles and just sort of.
Harold, what guns do you have? Because your Doris doesn't have one, and she'd probably take
Oh
yours
yeah,
if you have extra.
they're from a rules perspective, they're just double-barreled shotguns.
Okay. I will take one of those.
They're pretty. They look fancy.
I'm realizing
which one is a 20 gauge shotgun? I'm looking at these things here.
Yeah, I'm realizing that when I wrote down which one I purchased, I did not write it down in a way that disambiguates in this context.
It's a 2-barrel shotgun, which is in the it should be in the rules as a 2-barrel shotgun.
Double barrel shotgun.
Okay, I don't actually see that in here. Hang on.
Weapon stable.
Yep.
Mine would be 16 gauge, but I don't.
Okay.
2B. Mara, it's the one that's got 2B.
Oh.
At the bottom of it.
Okay. And 16 gauge. Okay. Yeah.
John, do you? I assume I had the pump action, not the semi-auto.
Yeah, you get a pump action.
Okay.
These are if it helps to picture them. These are the kind that have a break action, which means you them over your arm and put in the shells and then snap them closed.
Yeah, the ones that Harold has are
it's the Yosemite Sam Elmer Fudd shotgun.
Yeah.
They're called in England, they're called fouling pieces, and this was why they're 16 gauge, because they're chambered for smaller gauge, for bird shot rather than buckshot.
Yeah.
Which I would assume that's what.
Jared has buckshot because he does. Because
I have the corresponding ammo for my guns.
I would.
Stupid question. Then there are 2 damage, or there's like 3 different damage ratings.
Mm-hmm.
They're by range.
They're by
based on range. Yeah.
Okay,
got it. Related question: when it says 1 or 2, what does that mean in terms of attack number?
That's how many attacks per round you can get.
Yeah. So if it says 1 or 2, does that mean you can do up to 2, or does that mean?
Yeah, basically, for a double barrel shotgun, the 2, if it's a double barrel shotgun, the 2 means that you can pull both triggers. Okay. So there are 2 attacks because you're pulling both triggers. Because the way a double barrel shotgun works is the 2 barrels are independently fired. They're not fired together off the same hammer. So you have 2 different triggers on the actual action of the shotgun. So you can fire 1 shot or you can fire 2 shots. Either way, if you want to, so basically it's like if you want to have a shot next round, you fire 1 per round, or you fire both and spend your next round reloading.
you hook your finger around both.
Right. Otherwise, you pull both triggers at the same time, and terrible things happen.
That's how.
Hopefully, not to you.
Both triggers at the same time is the only way the Doom Marine knows how to operate a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because the people who were making video games looked at that system and were like, "Well, that's fucking dumb, and I don't really want to use that."
But I want to double shoot people, not single shoot someone.
No one's going to want to take the effort of, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 was like, but what if everything was manual except for picking up bullets? Because even they knew that no one would bother.
Okay, Jeremy, you should have it's missing, I think, some H's because of the way, and some H's and some T's because of the way PDF
copy pasting from this text.
Copy pasting from a PDF works. But you should have the Divine Touch spell in your handouts now.
How much of his soul did you lose?
Only when I use it.
Yeah, only when you use it, you lose an amount of sanity. So does everyone that sees you do it. But that's a separate
thing. Great. cool.
We're all
We'll
going
do that
down the
later.
rabbit hole together.
It's okay. You're going to
Well-
be in a dark catacombs. Not necessarily everyone will see it. Except for Jared, who has put on night vision goggles.
I was gonna say, everybody's gonna see it because somebody's gonna light a torch or something like that.
So you've got that.
Well, we don't need to light torches because
Turn
most
on
of us
your
are
torch.
British.
right.
Turn on
So our
your torch.
torches are flashlights.
You know what I mean.
Right. So, first of all, we're not going in right now. Several of you seem to have had a bit of a fright and have had a bit of a scare. So, we're going to take a little while to rest and recuperate. There are rooms in the back. He sort of points at the far end. Individual rooms, there's about like 50 different rooms back there, so feel free to pick one you like. Take a rest, take a nap.
Does
Comport
this
yourselves.
house seem like it should have that many rooms?
You went down. This is underground.
This
Okay,
is like
alright.
a
This was a secret passage in a wall that
Subterranean.
went down.
Okay.
Which is
Jared's gonna hang back until everybody else has left the room. Except for John Collins, hopefully.
John Collins, who is standing at a work table and prepping stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it has been indicated that there are rooms for your disposal to rest and recover. It is recommended that you all, at some point, take a nap or something before heading out. So,
Yep. I'll do that.
Harold would like to try to want to make sure that Doris has one of the fouling pieces, but would also like to try to get a minute to talk to her.
Yeah, no, she'll try and take you with her.
Okay. Right, fair. Then that's easier. said
In
than done.
every sense of that phrase.
Without a comment made to it, America is intentionally going to pick a room that is not right next to them.
Okay.
Both
We'd
out
have
of
to-
Well,
respect
this is
and out
we're in like
of
underground passages. It's all stone. Don't worry.
so as you head back,
We all know that
stone,
Harold's a
it's gonna
screamer.
echo like a bitch.
as you head back, you note that these are ancient wooden doors, the kind that have metal bars and rings instead of door handles. And you pull them open. Inside there is inside each room there is a fairly comfortable modern bed, with a writing desk, a electric lamp, and bookshelves that are empty, like for your own personal storage use. Or for whoever's living in this personal storage use, and it's fairly comfortable. It's not very like supremely well appointed, but it's comfortable, and there also appears to be connected bathrooms on each room,
And
so you don't have to leave
fairly
to use
like
the bathroom.
modernized as
Like
well, or
with the exception of the fact that it's in a stone room, yes, it is
Mhm.
fairly modernized.
okay.
Does
I'm-
does it look like it was retrofitted, or that it was built and it just has been
It was
built underground and using stone?
retrofitted. Like it was
Okay.
like somebody came in and refit the existing structure for modern appliances and modern use.
Sorry, Mara. I think you were about to say something.
Doris would also just she's gonna lean on the I am an old lady to go slowly, and is trying to note where Jahan is going as well.
Sure.
I will answer that in just one moment.
Okay.
So we'll hold that so Jeremy can do a thing. Jared, we'll say everyone steps away for a minute at the very least.
Yeah.
Got a question for you.
Certainly.
What do you make of this? Pulls out the statue.
Looks at it. Now, where'd you find that?
Nepal
Holds out a hand. May I?
hands it over.
Takes it. Rubs his thumb on it. Sort of notes that peculiarity that you know of.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ah, you lot are certainly a beacon for trouble, aren't you? How'd you find
Hey.
this?
I got lost in some mountains. I took cover in a temple. You know,
And this happened
snowstorms
to be there.
and shit.
This was in there, so you took it and shoved it in your bag.
Yeah, it was weird. No one to,
Right. So what you found is an idol.
I mean,
obviously.
sure.
Obviously, it's an idol. this is the kind of idol, particularly those cultists in yellow, like to make and utilize and worship in order to bring their particular entity into the world. This is supposedly one of that entity's, that king in yellow's forms, as this faceless individual wrapped entirely in yellow. Mostly because if you were to look underneath the hood, you'd go mad, kind of thing.
Neat.
And I'm willing to bet they're gonna want it off you.
Cool.
Hands it back.
I guess worst case scenario, if we run into them, we can throw this and run the other way.
I mean, it won't stop them, but certainly you could try. I'd keep a hold of it. Might be useful. There's all manner of uses for idols touched by otherworldly hands.
This isn't some
Oh no, they didn't carve it.
weird. Okay, well, I guess the communicable bacterial infection brain shit is gonna have to take a backseat for now. All right.
I know, what you've got right there wasn't carved, it was shaped by the will of the entity that it's representing. Well, I say will. The, what's the phrase? The dreaming mind of the entity that represents.
That's terrifying on about 3 different levels. Cool. I'm gonna go take a nap.
You should do that.
Thanks.
I'm genuinely relieved to hear Jared say he's scared of that.
Fair.
So, to answer Doris's question, where is Jahan heading?
John is just heading to a room somewhere. Probably not to sleep. He's going to spend some time getting familiar with the specific words of the spell, so he doesn't have to read it off a fucking piece of paper every single time.
Yeah. Good idea.
Where's
Yeah.
my post-it?
So I just note that and then go into a room with Harold.
Harold is looking, I mean, very obviously very, very concerned at Doris as they're moving along. And then once they're in the room, he'll shut the door and turns and say, "All right, Doris, we've got a bit of time to ourselves. Tell me honestly, how are you feeling?"
That's a complicated question. Because, the whole monsters and everything that I thought I knew that was true is sort of... I'll be all right. I'm just... It's a lot.
It certainly is.
I don't want to be alone right now. So...
Well, that's sort of the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. I know right now we're all up here together, and that's probably appropriate given the situation. But maybe until we get all this sort of thing sorted out. And he stops and pauses for a while and tries again. What I'm trying to say, and I know what this sounds like, and I don't mean it like that. I mean, I don't not mean it like that, if it's what you'd want to hear. But if it's not, I just think you may want to, well, there might be monsters under your house, is what I'm saying. And maybe in the short term, it might not be a bad idea if you were to relocate into London, as it were.
That is the most romantic "would you move in with me" ever. You know, if you live here, you won't have to be eaten by monsters.
The
It's the new-
monstrous ghost of your dead husband, specifically.
If you lived here, you might not be eaten by now. It's and he's sort of kind of trailing off again and kind of looking desperately at you to see if you understand what he's saying without him having to say
No,
more.
yes.
Doris.
You mean move in, right?
Doris, while Harold's having this conversation, you begin to
Great.
hear sort of the sound of like a staticky radio, like someone is trying to find a channel.
Yep.
It's just sort of in the background. There's no radio in this room,
Uh-huh.
but you're just hearing that sort of static click, static click, static click.
No, yes.
Just the sound
Absolutely.
of Harold's brain.
Yeah. I love that. Yes.
Oh, well, good. Well, I'm glad we got that sorted. When we have a moment, if you want to make up maybe a list of things you might need from your place, and I'll go and get them. I don't want you to have to go in again.
Thank you. Yes. I'll do that. I think I'm going to go and see if our, no offense, I know you are also a doctor, but I don't know how you
As you're struggling to find those words, Doris, that staticky radio you're hearing finally clicks off, and you just start to hear this melodically sung version of the Ink Spots' "I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire." Just in the back of your head, I don't want to set the world on fire.
That's not good. That's the worst creepy song ever.
I just want to start a flame in your heart. And you sort of hear that it's playing in the background.
Do we hear music?
Do I hear music?
No, you don't
I think
hear
I
music.
know the. Okay.
No.
It's fine.
In
Somebody
my
in one of the
heart
other
I
rooms is
but
just watching The
one
Shining.
Then
No big deal.
I figured somebody was just playing any of the Fallout games. All of the Fallout games.
That one is you.
Is there
Harold pauses
reference
to listen.
the current Unraveled episode here?
No other will do.
Harold pauses for a moment and listens and says, "Oh, my hearing's not what it used to be. I'm sure I hear something somewhere."
Yeah, no, it's probably
I've
just.
lost all ambition
I
for
wanted to
what
go
you
actually see
claim.
if our
I just wanna
other
be
good
the
doctor
one you love.
maybe had something.
And with
I think I'm
your
gonna have trouble falling
admission
asleep.
That you'd feel the
That,
same.
of course, that sort of
I've
thing.
reached the goal
Yes.
I'm dreaming of, believe me.
If you need something for gout or that sort of thing, you come back and see me. But I think all things considered, he might be a better point of contact for you.
Yes.
I'll just get the room sorted out.
Yes.
Maybe freshen up a bit.
I'll be back in a jiffy. I exit the room.
By the time you exit
beeline.
the room, the song has gotten to the part where they start, where like one of the Ink Spots just starts talking while the others are harmonizing in the background. And you exit the room, heading towards Jahan, I guess.
Yep.
Yep.
Knock, knock, knock.
Yes.
So,
I don't want to set the
Doctor.
world
Come in,
on
Dr.
fire,
come in,
Ramsey.
honey.
come in.
Yes.
I love you too much. I'm just gonna start
I
a great
entered
big
the room.
flame down in your heart.
I was wondering if you might have anything.
You see,
I had a little bit
way
of
down deep inside of me, darling, I have only one desire.
Okay, to be fair, I can't hear Mara over you. And I'm not supposed to be able to hear this.
Yeah. I just had a little bit of a fright earlier, and I
Right.
we need rest. I don't think I'll be able to get to sleep. Do you have anything?
Jahan, you feel
There's a moment where it looks like Jahan is about to say something snarky, but doesn't.
John, you feel like your services could be applied here in a positive manner.
I'm not sure what you're trying to imply there.
So, mechanically, for anyone who's not familiar, in Call of Cthulhu, psychologists can use their psychoanalysis
Oh,
role
yeah.
in order to restore sanity points to people via methodology of talking.
Get your head out of the gutter, Jeremy.
Well, no, I literally wasn't sure whether it was like some kind of
Yeah,
like.
I'm just teasing.
It's fair. Yeah. Yes, you can. This would be the sort of opportunity where you could use a psychoanalysis role to
Right.
help restore some sanity to Doris.
Well, I do have some bad news. I am a psychologist, not a psychiatrist.
I don't.
I can't
Wha-
prescribe medication.
All right, but you can give me something over the counter or under the table or something. I know you have something.
Give me the drugs.
Over the counter or under the table?
Under the table.
You can't escape the innuendo, can you?
It is entirely possible that you are coming up with some of this on your own.
I am. I'm sorry. That was not polite.
I
was
am
teasing.
willfully projecting.
No, I don't have anything here because, shockingly, I did not take the time when we were frantically leaving my home to pack up my medications.
That's fair.
Is there something you need to talk about?
No.
Are you
Muffled
sure?
from down the hall. Do you want some Adderall?
No, we're quite fine here.
Because I'm probably
Yay!
in this group of, so I was a little bit separated. I'm headed towards Jared's room just to see if I can actually get her some privacy. Because I might not know much of what happened, but I heard that comment.
No, it's
Sure.
been fine. I'm just, seeing strange things, and like the fact that man out there is clearly looks dead to me, which cannot be because none of the rest of you were doing anything about it, and also he kept talking.
Yes, no, he's not dead. But that said, that doesn't mean I don't believe you. Because I would point out that I had seen, several things that you all had not seen. You sure you don't want? This is what I do professionally.
So what? There's no couch here. It's just a bed.
I don't have a couch in my office.
Why
Couches
not? I
are
thought you were supposed to.
No, you don't need a couch. No. No, you don't need a couch.
There's supposed to be a couch and you have a clipboard. I
Yes,
have seen
yes,
the telly.
I have seen all the telly shows too. That's not really how it works.
So how does it work?
Well, would you like to have a seat?
I will sit down on our
Yeah, they're chairs.
yeah, probably a chair. She's got her arms crossed. Doris is not.
This is gonna go
comfortable.
well. This is gonna go well. I'm gonna make great headway.
I know.
Okay,
Listen,
so
This
our
is
character's
exactly
track record has
the
not been
mood that
good.
you need for somebody when you need to quick fix them
So-
sanity-wise.
so you have two options. You can either talk this out in real time,
Right.
or make a psychoanalysis roll. Whichever you two would prefer.
Jeremy.
I mean,
Am I supposed to start with my childhood or some shit?
My So I'd actually really like to, but on the other hand, this is a 2-hour stream, and that
I know.
we might not have enough time for that. So, in the interest of time, I think probably rolling
Make a roll.
is best. As fun as that would be,
Oh, yeah.
and we will definitely do that at some point.
Oh yeah. So the way I'm gonna
No, you do
basically
not start
and just
with your childhood.
for the basically so for the mechanical aspects of this, the way I'm going to rule this is if you guys ever take the time, it doesn't have to be long. It can be like
Right.
just a few minutes or whatever. Actually, take the time to talk a thing out. I will consider that a successful, just an automatic success in a psychoanalysis roll. If you want to shortcut it, I'll ask for the roll, and we'll take whatever the roll is.
Okay.
So, go ahead and make that roll.
Yeah, and basically, what I'm specifically focusing on is what are you seeing right now?
Yep.
How are you feeling about it,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And trying to just on an intellectual level, because I know we're not going to reach you on the emotional level, so we
Not
have
yet.
to use the logic part of it. Just reason that part out. It's the band-aid on the sucking chest wound that is Doris's emotional issues.
That will
Talking
actually
about
help.
it
Yes.
in such a way as to contextualize it and give your brain words to work with.
Yep. I mean,
Alright.
I feel like a 4 with an 80 is probably making it okay.
I mean, it's an
Yeah.
extreme success. So
Yep.
the two of you talk for a while. You actually
Yep.
lose track of time as you're talking, Doris.
So-
And and Jahan's ability to provide a context that you previously were lacking is something that is extremely gratifying. Because it was an
Mhm.
extreme success, you get to roll 2d10
Ooh. Okay.
as opposed to 1d10.
Okay, one of you people are
And
going to have to get
regain
some
7
psychoanalysis
sanity.
skills, because I'm going to be spending sanity like candy at
Mm.
some
I just
point.
want to point out that while that would be incredibly nice, the only way to up your skills in this system is by succeeding. And I
Can't you-
currently have a 1% chance of success because this fucking system's advancement tree is really not what I would prefer.
Don't worry,
Har-
I have some psychology.
yeah, Harold
I was
Harold has
gonna
a
say, I
four.
would imagine you do.
Psychoanalysis.
Let's just say psychology roll.
Psychoanalysis roll. Oh, it should have been a psychoanalysis roll, Jeremy.
Oh, shit.
It's okay.
Harold has
I
Harold
think
has a
It would
40
be a
in
4 out of
psychoanalysis.
50.
It would be a 4 out of 50. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you still get the 2d10.
Okay. Cool.
So you regain 7 points of sanity.
So Jahan probably learned some things about Doris that you probably didn't previously, because
Right.
they are not two characters who are going to be talkative to each
No,
other.
they don't small talk much.
No. So Doris has been seeing bits of her recently deceased second husband. He died like 3 years ago. Yeah. Of lung cancer. And
Okay.
this is kind of freaking her out. Yeah, and it's mostly about that.
Do you play him the recording?
God, it was an extreme success. Yeah, it's an extreme success. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll play the recording.
So you play the recording and you don't hear the thing that you heard last time. It's just the
Fuck.
sound of you breathing heavily. Like panicked breathing.
That okay. That
There will
sound-
be plenty of assurances that you are not going crazy again. There are,
different
and I
before.
realize how I realize that this is difficult. It's almost preferable to think that you're going crazy, but there are things that are messing with our perceptions. And there is a possibility that they are aware of what may be potential chinks in our armor and are
Great.
attacking at those. But you are being, all things considered, exceptionally rational. Etc., etc., etc.
So, with the recontextualization having taken effect to some degree, that music stopped somewhere in that middle of that conversation. You're not certain where you sort of missed that part. You feel better's not the right word, but you feel more in control.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Of course. I'm only too happy to help. I'll send you a bill. I'm joking.
So, as you all, unless is anyone else doing anything particular?
Well, yeah, I
America,
was
going
going
to
to,
Jared? Yeah.
Jared's room.
Okay.
Knock, knock, knock. Yo!
You're
Jack,
muted,
you
Jack.
muted.
That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, come on in.
All right. Push the door open.
Jared is
First
on
start.
his hands and knees, prying at the boundaries of the room. He's obviously looking for something.
Shut. Leans against the wall. What you up to?
Looking for a loose rock.
To batter someone with, or because you think you'd be hiding something?
Well, it's an old stone room. There stands to reason that one of these rocks is loose so that you can hide shit behind it.
Give me a find hidden roll.
Spot hidden? Yeah.
Spot hidden, yeah.
Nope.
You seem to have gotten the one room that doesn't have a loose stone. All these things are pretty well firmly mortared in.
I'll
Come on,
cast
help me
my
with
eyes
this.
around if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Give us spot hidden roll.
Nah.
Yeah. Seems
America
to be
probably isn't looking that hard, to be fair.
everything seems to be pretty well mortared.
Reasonable enough. It's also holding up quite a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if these are some fancy bricks.
Fundamentally disappointing, but yeah.
There. Speaking of hidden things, I suppose.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, speaking of fundamentally disappointing, and I'd ask, which of my relatives are you?
I feel like, because I'm not involved, I'm the right person to have a conversation with you about the basics of privacy and etiquette.
Okay.
Look, I know that Costly and Young dancing around each other like that is pretty damn hilarious. And it is more hilarious is that they're so quick to jump upon Jared and the young detective.
I'm Jared, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Shut up. Jahan is a really hard word to say in the Minnesotan accent.
That's fair.
That's fair.
And it's easier to err on the side of sounding like it's Jared than sounding like it's John, because then I'm hailing you being I'm to answer a question or something. Han and the young detective. Keeping all that in mind, sometimes people have an expectation of propriety and privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell if any of this is getting through to him? Or can I make a charm roll to try and get this through to him? That might be more what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, like a charm or a persuade roll. Yeah.
29, hard success.
So, Jared, you're sort of getting the inclination that. What are you trying to get across, Aaron?
Just maybe lay off the jokes about the sexuality and maybe or old people sexuality, and maybe lay off the listening in on people talking to a psychologist.
So yeah, you get that comes across, Jared.
Okay, yeah, no, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You gonna live by it, or you just gonna pick it up and put it in your pocket?
I'm gonna do the second one first, and then I'll come back around to the first one once we're done shooting things.
All right, fair. Cards on the table. When you're in a shootout, you want to have as many friends and as few enemies as possible.
Okay.
Now, I like you, Jared. You know that. We've worked together before, or you're very capable. What I don't want is to be the one advocating that we go hoist your butt out of danger next time you fall down a meat grinder, or because everyone else thinks you're an asshole.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there. I get it's tough. I get that it's funny. And I certainly get that with all this bullshit going on, it's easiest to just focus on what you know and don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Just something to keep in mind.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap.
Seems fair. Talk to you later.
Harold, were you actually trying to spot hidden something, or was that just a for fun roll?
That was because I misunderstood and I thought we were all rolling in our own
Okay.
rooms.
No,
Nope.
that was just
Harold is
Speaking
the-
of privacy, that was a conversation held in private.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I had a momentary disconnect. I am not quite as old as Harold, but
You still have senior moments.
I do indeed.
Everyone does.
It's
It
okay.
is.
I know the feeling.
So you
I
all
do as well, just not for the same reasons.
You all
Harold has been in his room and bored though, so I don't know. Maybe he's looking around.
you all take a nap basically at some point. And the sort of there's just this sort of passive comfort of being in a solid structure that you, for whatever reason, even though you have no logical reason to think this, you understand that you are currently protected. So you all get 1d3 sanity points back.
Oh, good.
Sweet.
I would, before we go to sleep and while Doris is out of the room,
Mhm.
Harold would check the stone just to see if it's glowing.
Okay. It is not glowing currently.
And then when she comes back, and I know I at least was one of the two hands on the shovel that dug this hole. But I do not mean this euphemistically. I mean this in a genuine fashion. Harold will genuinely attempt to offer comfort to Doris when she comes back.
We'll accept.
All right. So you all regain 1d3 sanity points and reconvene after having a bit of a couple hours of rest, basically.
I'm more than 50% sane.
Congrats.
I am not.
Me either.
John Collins is still at that table that you guys left him at, sort of poring over
I
some
thought you were going to
papers.
say John Collins is not.
No, he is. He is still there. Yeah, so back in character. Right, so y'all look like you've had a bit of a restful few hours. Now it's time to unsettle you entirely. Grab your weapons.
Wonderful.
Let's go hunting.
Weapons back.
Night vision goggles.
Now the
Been a while
important
since I used one of these.
Now, you're going to see probably at least one or two things down here that your brain's going to tell you can't be true. Believe everything you see. And also don't believe everything you see. It'll It'll make sense in the long run.
I have a question. Does he still look dead to me?
No, he does not look dead to you anymore.
Okay, good. I won't say anything then. I'm upset.
Speaking of, one last question to everyone. America holds out a first aid kit. I got my medical supplies.
I got one too.
If you have it, seems like it's reasonable to bring it.
A firm suggestion. If Harold hasn't already done so, he'll get his medical bag out of the car.
Yep. I'll say you brought it in with the supplies.
Okay. I would imagine, but I didn't say so. So, I will also.
That was half an out of character reminder that we do have those kinds of tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will also try to give Doris a very quick firearm safety explanation.
While you're doing that,
while
you're giving her that firearm safety explanation, John Collins is moving over to a large chain and pulling it, and the portcullis is rising.
America will assist with the safety conversation because they actually have quite a lot of experience with firearm safety.
All right, yes, don't point it at people. I know that part.
Hey, John.
Jeremy, Jack just said, "Hey, John."
Oh, I thought he said, "Hey, John."
No,
Sorry.
that's your fault, Jeremy.
You have no.
That's what I heard as well.
A character and a player with quite similar names.
You all your J names.
Hey, John.
Yes. What's up?
Since you're kind of doing all of the magic shit and whatnot, on the off chance that something problematic happens to me down there, I stashed something behind the bookshelf in my room. So if you need, you grab it if anything happens to me.
Very well. Is there anything I need to know about it beforehand?
Collins knows about it and can probably answer questions better, but I found it in Nepal and he said it might be useful later.
Right, okay. Good to know.
The portcullis clangs to the top, and the giant wooden doors are pushed open. Only so much as it takes for you guys to get through. And all of you are shuffled out into what looks to be an antechamber to a series of catacombs. There is a series of darkened corridors, roughly 4 of them, spreading off in different directions with lit torches in braziers at the intersection of each one. As the door closes back behind you, and you see John Collins hit a lever or hit a latch and hear the portcullis slamming closed behind it.
Oh my goodness. I am just fussing around in my handbag and with various things, making sure my hat's on, nice, all that
right,
useless stuff.
You're gonna
and
want
I
to
click on the recorder.
Yeah, you click on the recorder. Right, yep. So leaving that closed, I know how to open it from this side, but we don't want whatever's trapped down here to get out into the central London area. Trust me, you're not going to want to be around it for very much longer than you have to in order to kill it. Now, these things are particularly sneaky. They like to ambush. They like to sort of pick off targets one by one. So you're all going to want to, and as he finishes the word "to," there is the sound of ripping and tearing flesh. As all of you see a spear protruding from John Collins' chest, roughly the heart area.
Yeah.
As standing above and behind him, having dropped down from somewhere unseen, there is what can only be described as a giant lizard person. I need all of you to make sanity rolls.
Yep.
As this large lizard thing, looking kind of like if you took a Komodo dragon and stretched it out to human proportions, or the classic D&D inspiration of a lizard folk person.
Holy
all
shit, I
America's
succeeded.
sanity is kind of crazy a lot of the time.
Everyone who succeeds takes 0 sanity points, as you're able to rationalize the idea of a lizard person.
Doris, no.
Doris, you roll 1d6.
Okay. Yeah.
Is a critical success good for anything else or no?
No, it just means you're really good at being sane right now.
Yep, down to 39 again.
You're still on it. You're still at a net positive compared to 24 hours ago.
This creature hisses, and we're going to begin initiative. So what are all of your dexterity scores?
90.
40.
70.
Craig, you're muted. 25.
50.
Finally, the thing this character was built for.
What was yours?
Sorry.
What was yours,
sorry.
Jeremy?
40.
America
So-
grabs a whip. It's my time to shoot.
The way
I
the
mean, I
way
do have one, but I'm better with a shotgun.
the way initiative works in Call of Cthulhu is that it's just your dexterity score. The higher dexterity score goes first. That's all it is. And if there's a tie, the players go ahead of the monsters. Let me see what this particular monster's dexterity is.
On the bright side, it's not fishmen.
No, it's Lizard Man.
Okay, that's fair.
Still
All
my
right.
favorite Christmas Carol, but I'm glad they're not here.
So, America, you just saw John Collins get impaled by a spear. He's probably dead. You recall the lesson that he gave you prior of shoot and run. It's
Yep.
your turn. You have an action and a movement.
But I also remember what he said about both believing what I saw and not believing it, and also the thing about how he's going to be fine no matter what happens.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm doing all of those things. So, Collins can look after himself, shooting and running.
Give me a handgun firearms roll.
So, handgun?
Oh, wait, sorry, you're using your rifle.
I'm
Sorry,
not
rifle.
Carrying a handgun.
For some-
Whose handgun?
Your character art has you holding 2 pistols, so I constantly think you're using pistols.
That's fair, and I would be, but they're illegal, and America wanted to be able to open carry. Yeah, so if someone wants to buy me handguns, that would be a lovely present. What range am I at?
You are currently at
It's
in
in
the system.
feet and in increments of 10.
You are currently about 10 feet away from it.
All right. Well, I've got a shotgun, and I'm aiming, and that's what I already had out. So that seems like that's what I roll. So I'm still a little unclear on the distinction between shooting once and shooting twice.
The amount of attacks per round you can have is based on the amount of attacks per round the weapon says you can do.
Yes, and it says 1 or 2.
So, what kind of you're using the shotgun?
12 gauge shotgun.
Yeah, so it's you're firing one or both barrels. You pick basically. If you
Okay.
fire, so it's what's the basically once your magazine capacity is empty, you have to reload to fire again. So, and that'll take an action to reload. So you have, do you want to fire twice this round and then have to reload next round, or do you want to fire once and be able to fire next round again as well? That's the choice you have to
In this specific context, I think I'm going to fire twice because I want to start off combat strong.
Good. Okay. Fire twice.
It's in the short just means I took out the ranges because they all have different damages.
Yeah. So do...
Hard and success.
All right. So 11 damage and 14 damage. Let's see if it dodges. So when you are attacked, you can choose to dodge in response. If you successfully dodge and you compare the numbers, whoever gets the better success wins. Then you can dodge.
Do those still count as successes for leveling up if he gets a
Yes,
success?
those still counts as successes.
Cool.
It fails to dodge the first one, and fails to dodge the second one. All right, so you blam, hit twice. You actually shoot through Collins and like blow up a chunk of his shoulder off, but you also blow a chunk of the shoulder off of the thing behind him too. So count as a success.
Look,
If he didn't want to get shot, he shouldn't have been standing in front of the lizard person.
Exactly.
Probably what the
Also-
Americans say as Jahan is like, the fuck?
A brand new defense.
yeah, America did say something before shooting that
Yeah.
Jahan may or may not consider relevant to that action. Just as a out of character reminder of what's been said in character. And yeah, I'm booking it in whatever direction seems reasonable.
You have 4 directions. Pick one.
Which one is least obstructed by party members at the moment? I don't want to trip over anyone.
You guys are probably gathered. So you're probably gathered sort of centrally. So either the far left or the far right.
Left. Let's
All
go
right.
left.
America books it. What's your speed?
Movement rate would be speed,
Yeah,
correct?
move rate. Yeah.
8.
All right, so you can
Oh,
move.
God.
We'll say that's 80 feet. You just fucking book it.
Yep. I'm fast, and
All right.
I'm fast.
That makes it Jared's turn.
Jared thinks that America had a pretty good idea, and he's going to try and fire as well. I don't suppose he can position himself to gain any advantages on this or anything.
Nope.
All right. Because this game hates me, and then I run after America. My movement rate is 7.
So you just fire. You just unload and run. The
Yeah.
shot scatters and just hits wall, but you
Yep.
take the fuck off. Its turn. The lizard creature, bleeding from the shoulder, drops the body of Collins off its spear and doesn't seem particularly happy to have been shot. And you all, those 3 of you that haven't yet had the chance to move, watch it turn towards the direction of America and bolt with this sort of preternatural speed that you're unfamiliar. You're not familiar with things of this size moving with this level of agility and speed. As it just takes off, hits the side of the tunnel and goes up the wall and begins chasing after America and Jared along the side of the wall, disappearing
To be
from view
fair-
for the 3 of you.
It will get to me before it gets to America because I'm slightly slower.
It does, but it was also slightly
Okay.
further away.
Eh.
That makes it Harold.
Did I understand correctly that the door out is now locked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we see how it was locked?
There was a latch that had held the chains in place that was kicked, and the chain went up.
Okay.
I
So no
really
key-
want you to go into extreme detail, like okay, that's how the intricate device. Okay, I throw a grenade at it.
Like all doctors, Harold reaches no.
All
Harold finds
good
his
doctors.
explosive store.
Is it? I don't know what kind of dentist you all go to. Is it still within shotgun range? How far away is
No,
it from Harold?
it went down a tunnel and you can't even see it at the moment. You can hear it still, but you can't see it.
Well, it is way faster than Harold. Are there any more of them around?
Not that
I'm gonna
you
look up
can-
where it came from.
Give me a spot hidden check.
Okay. Success.
It doesn't seem like there are any in this room. You're still not certain where it came from. Like, like you looking up, you're not seeing any clear signs of an alcove or anything. It must have been hanging off the ceiling.
Okay. And are we still in the same room at the door?
Yes, the 3 of you are. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then Harold will say, uh, keep watch for any of those things. I'm going to see if I can get this thing open. And I guess I'll start off by inspecting the door and see if I can figure out the mechanics to it.
All right. Give me a.
Operate heavy machinery.
Give me a locksmith check.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, I got 1 point in that. Yeah, I surprisingly failed.
It's not like a door you're familiar with, and you are not a particular student of ancient, like of medieval siege doors and the things like that. So it's like you're not.
Harold just sort of stares at it for a while and then kind of pushes it.
It doesn't move.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
That's why I can't find the combat rules. They're not in the book you gave us because that's the investigator book.
I also gave you the keeper book as well.
All right.
Yes, but I didn't save that one because you gave it to us second.
It should still be in Slack.
I would assume that's all of my turn. If it's not, Harold would go over.
You still have
sort
some.
of set.
That'd be your action. You still have some movement if you want.
And Harold will move away from the door and kind of put himself between the other two and the hallway where the lizard thing went, and keep an eye open and up.
Cool. Jahan.
Yep. What the hell? No time like the present. How far away is it?
It's in the tunnel, so you can't see it. The tunnel is about 30 feet away from you.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. And then, how do you get magic points back?
You get them back.
Because I spent 5 doing magic stuff earlier.
Yeah, no, that's fair. How do you get magic back?
What the hell?
So first of all, once you run out of magic points, you can start spending hit points in place of them.
Good to know, but
okay, magic points heal the same as hit points. Or no, yeah.
Okay.
So you regain 1 per day.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, no.
I was
Magic
gonna
points
say,
that are
that's
magic
real
points that are
slow.
lost as hit points. You regain.
Okay.
When regeneration of magic points is a natural function, returning at 1 magic point per hour.
Oh, so I'm easily back up at 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I will see if I can get a look. Move up close enough I can get a look.
And if your power increases, you regenerate up to 1/5 of your
Right.
power. So.
Okay. Move up, see if I can get a look at it.
Yeah, you can see it crawling along the wall towards Jared at this
How
point.
far away is it?
It's about 30 feet away from you now.
Okay, so from my understanding, then I only need the 1 magic point for the range. No, wait, not even for the range because it's within 30 feet. So every magic point invested deals.
Well, no,
2d.
you still need 1. You still need 1 for the range, even if it's in 30
That's
feet.
not what the example shows.
For every 30 feet of distance, the caster stands from the target after the first 30 feet.
After
the first 30 feet. Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I don't know how much strength this thing has. Or how much it can potentially take. So let's just throw, I don't know, 5 magic points into it.
All right.
I have to roll. So I lose. Okay, 2's not bad. 2's not bad. 2 sanity. Spend 5 magic points. And so then my understanding is I roll 10d10.
First, you roll
You are gonna have one mangled thumb before this is up.
Yes. So roll however
10d10.
many 10d10.
And if it fails then it has to make a Constitution roll, and it will, yeah. So
Is this is the nature of magic that it's sort of a done deal if you do the steps, so you don't have to roll to do it?
more or less,
It depends on the spell.
yeah, it depends on the spell.
Okay.
So it has to roll a 55 or
So the spell strength is 55, so it has to resist a spell strength of 55.
right. It's versus the target's con.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do resistance rolls work in this system?
It depends on what it is, and the spells will typically explain this. In this case, the spell is a ranged attack that deals that has an amount of strength based on how much magic you put into it.
Right.
In this case, that strength is 57. So 57 becomes or 55. So 55 becomes the target number that the creature has to beat. Sorry, no. Other way around. 55 sets the target as a hard difficulty, so it has to succeed a hard check. So it has to get below half of its con save
Okay.
in order to resist.
Okay.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah, because basically, if you take the D100, and separate it out into quarters.
No, I get that aspect of it.
Yeah, that 50 is the hard step. So once you exceed that, you're setting the difficulty of the resistance check.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't know what the 55 translated into.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to slow things down.
No, that's fine.
Wasn't sure how spells work.
Combat in Call of Cthulhu is frantic, deadly, and complicated.
I feel like I say about many systems, it's hard to be frantic when there are too many rules.
Yeah. So it fails. So it gets knocked to the ground. And
it actually
skids
gets,
away.
what's its size?
Its size is 1. Or sorry, no, sorry. Its size is 80.
80?
Yeah.
It's slightly bigger than me.
Oh no, then it gets knocked. Yeah, then it just gets knocked down, I suppose.
It doesn't slide away.
Because it doesn't know.
Pardon me.
You said it doesn't slide away?
Yeah, if
So
the strength of the blow is bigger than, yeah.
So you didn't knock it into my back? I appreciate that.
I am disappointed.
I know.
Jahan is not, I am.
Right.
So it hits the ground behind you, Jared. You just hear this heavy thud as the thing gets knocked off the wall and slams into the ground about 10 feet behind you.
And my hand stops glowing.
So yeah, John, so you bite your thumb, recite the incantation, run it across the thing, shove your hand out, and your palm there's a flash of light from your palm.
Mm-hmm.
And just a wave of force, a wave of invisible force just erupts out of your palm and strikes it from a distance, knocks it to the ground. There's actually a blowback of air from the expulsion of force. Your hair goes flying behind you. Harold, you and Doris see this like explosion of dust from where Jahan points his hand out, and a dust cloud sort of billows up.
Fuck me.
I didn't see it done. I don't lose sanity.
And Doris and Harold didn't really see what happened either, because it was targeted into a hallway.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm assuming because I am
Neat.
looking the other
No,
direction.
no one else is affected by this at the moment.
Well, it looks like he wasn't entirely off his rocker. God rest his soul.
Hashtag John Collins is dead.
I probably ought to, I realize in retrospect, that probably should have been my action. To check on John Collins.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna feel bad about this all
explicitly
week
told
now.
us not to worry about him and that he would be
I
fine.
know, but
Uh,
Harold's a
Doris,
Yes.
it's your turn.
I have been shrieking.
Have been
this
and
is
continue to be.
Yeah, this is terrifying, and that was freaky. Harold, he said not to open the door and let those things out. I am going to go up toward where Jahan is, so I can see into the other hallway where
right.
the thing went.
Okay.
Somebody might want to put this thing out. It's not dead. It's just unconscious.
And I fire twice because listen, I've never it's been a while
Put it
since
right
Doris
to
has
the
used a gun
skull.
and
Just
try-
don't take a chance of missing.
Doris, what's your move speed?
4.
So you can't get to it, but you can get up to
No.
next to where Jahan is.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire at it. I don't want to get close to
Go
that
ahead and
thing.
give me a firearms, whatever weapon you're using roll.
Okay, how far away am I?
You're
Oh,
30 feet
amazing.
away. You're 30 feet away from it.
30? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'd use the 50 then, I guess?
Yep.
Okay. Nope. And nope.
So the sound of 2 barrels unloading echoes from behind you, Jared, in America. And
Hey,
fortunately,
don't shoot at us!
fortunately, it just scatters across the ground and doesn't go down the hallway.
That's my turn. I'm done.
America, it's still your turn. It's your turn now.
Cool. I heard Jahan yelling about. It's still my turn, or
Or it is
now?
it is your turn now.
Okay. I heard Jahan yelling about just it's out, just take it down all the way.
Yes.
Give me a second to reload. Taking my action to reload.
Chunk, chunk.
don't take much longer than that, please.
That-
I have to reload. That is an entire action.
That is an action, unfortunately. Are you moving
Yeah.
back towards the lizard?
Yeah, if I'm not within 10 feet of it, I'll move to
Yeah.
where I
Yeah,
am.
so you move back towards the lizard. So Jared, it would be your turn, but now it's John Collins' turn.
Right.
As Harold, Doris, and Jahan, you watch John Collins walk past you
Ah! Okay.
with a hole in, like, not a hole, but like a hole in his clothes where that spear went through, but you can see the flesh perfectly fine.
Right.
And you can actually see a bit of tattooing on his back as he walks past you. In addition to his shoulder, like the bit of his clothes where the shoulder had been having been blown away from the shotgun, with a sword in his hand. You're not certain where that came from. As he walks up to the unconscious lizard person, puts the tip of the sword behind the sort of behind the neck and skull, and just shoves down. As there is a sound as it rips through the flesh and down into the ground.
I'll tell you where it came from. It came from the dimension of hotness. Because that's where all cool people's swords come from.
And as he does so, he's yelling something. Do any of you have Welsh as a language skill?
Nope.
Nope.
He's yelling something in what you all can definitively identify as Welsh. You're pretty certain he's cussing it out, but you don't know exactly what he's saying. He just sort of rams the sword down into it and then pulls it back out. Fucking hurt. Rolls his
Feel
shoulder.
better?
Yeah,
Sorry about your
That's fine.
shoulder.
thank you. It's fine.
So it's Jared's turn now?
Technically, we're out of initiative, but it is Jared's turn.
Okay. Jared walks up to the thing, puts his shotgun against its eye socket, and pulls the trigger.
Another splatter of gore. You notice that its blood is green.
Not that I don't think you did fine, just...
Absolutely fine. Right,
Okay.
so that wasn't the thing I was talking about, which means we have a secondary problem.
There's other shit down here that shouldn't be, meaning something got out.
Or something got in, or something opened up a tunnel underneath, which means something could have gotten out. Yeah, lots of different issues there.
not to distract from the mission, but are you feeling okay?
He turns around and again, looking at him from the front, you can still see he definitely
Right.
took that hit because there's a hole in his clothes.
Right.
Is there any blood?
No blood. There is blood on his clothes where he was stabbed,
Right.
but
Mhm.
the wound is completely gone.
Yeah.
He sort of, fuck, I like this jacket. He pulls the jacket off because now the one arm is hanging loose and pulls the shirt off too. And you can see that he's like his entire upper body is just covered in what look to be Gaelic or Celtic tattoos and runic symbols.
That's
Important
neat.
question.
Yes.
Is he hot?
Yes.
Okay.
Clearly.
I don't know. Okay.
He only
Oh
has
my god, are you two gonna start competing over him?
sort of
You already
Bundles it
got
up.
yours.
tosses it down.
I haven't said anything yet.
Right, I should probably explain that, shouldn't I?
Yes, please do.
I know
Fine.
you
Magic.
said it was gonna happen, still surprising.
Well, trying to think. It's been so long ago, I've forgotten the years. But basically, there was a magical spell put on me by Merlin a long time ago, and it means that I can't die.
Of course.
So should it be Pendragon then and not Collins?
No. You're thinking of somebody else. No, the name that some of you might know me by is Caradoc Frigvries, but I think the English just say Caradoc now.
That
Anyone who wants to can make a history check.
Yep.
I'll try.
Actually, it'd be a history check with 2 bonus dice because all of you were educated in the UK.
No, I wasn't.
I was not.
Sorry, those of you that all but America was
Nope.
educated in the UK. Jared, you
I
were
didn't pay
educated in the UK. You
attention
just left
in
later.
school.
That's the same as hitting the purple die, right?
Yep.
Okay. No.
I didn't pay attention in school. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
none
I
of us
paid
did.
attention in school. I just didn't get that. I had other avenues of studies and history to worry about. Okay. There's a lot of history in the UK.
Yeah, there is.
Fair.
Well, everyone is paying
It's not
attention.
like America and it's piddly 200 years.
Jesus, I have the
Hey,
best
that
history
200
here. and
years
I've
contained
fucking-
cowboys, the best people ever, and I do know the names. I feel like this is something I can say without making a check of every single famous cowboy America does.
Fortunately, he's not a famous
The fictional
cowboy.
and non-fictional ones.
Just blank stares all across the tunnel.
Fucking hell. Dude, none of you know your mythic histories. All right,
I know the mythic history of my own country.
No,
King,
but I'd like to hear you.
King
My
Arthur,
focus is
King
more-
Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, Sir Caradoc.
My
Yeah,
focus
there
is a
was
little more Zoroastrian.
Fair. Right. I long time ago was a fucking king in Wales, all right?
I know the basics of the Alpha story. I just don't know all the characters. There are a lot of characters in that story.
Right. Anyways, long time ago was a king, served with King Arthur, served on the Knights of the Round Table. Merlin, when we were hunting for what you guys would later come to know as a Holy Grail, but whatever. Hunting for a cup that had magic powers. Merlin blessed us all with it, with a particular spell. Lots of us died because they died and I didn't. Their life force got tied up with mine. I'm basically immortal now and have been since then. I'm a lot older than I look. And yeah, I can't die. Anyways, that's up. We have monsters to hunt, so if you wouldn't mind.
That sounds fucking awful for you.
Highs and lows. Anyways, that's where we're going to end it for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
day is done. When it's time for fun, we'll drink and sing and shout. You weak-livered milk drinkers can let your throats run dry, 'cause it's just one drink that we will sink until the day we die. Drinking mead in the halls of Whiterun, the maidens and the men. We swig our brew until we spew, then we fill our mugs again. You can keep your filthy skooma, it makes our bellies bleed. 'Cause when we raise our flagon to another dead dragon, there is just one drink we need, Nordmead. Nordmead. Chug another mead and another mother mead, chug another mother mead till you fall down. Chug another mead and another mother mead, chug another mother mead, Maria. After the long hard days of hunting and of war, our throats are tired and thirsty and our bodies drenched in gore. But we won't waste our evenings feeling tired and feeling spent. We perk right up when we breathe in that wholesome honey scent. That's iridyllic brandy, too fruity for these tongues. You can keep your fancy Alto wine, it tastes like Horker dung. Balmora Blue tastes great to you, but here we like it plain. Just fill my mug with a mighty jug of honey, heart and grey. Drinking mead in the halls of Whiterun, the maidens and the men. We swig our brew until we spew, then we fill our mugs again. You can keep your filthy skooma, it makes our bellies bleed. 'Cause when we raise our flagon to another dead dragon, there is just one drink we need, Nordmead.